So Alex Pereira just mollywopped the fuck out of Khalil Rountree in the fourth round. The Mickey Mouse defense is finally over. We are now left wondering which opponents have the best chance of beating him. Maybe then mollywop the fuck out of Pereira. The first contender up on the tier list is number 7 ranked Nikita Krylov. Nikita Krylov, he's a good fighter. I've always been, very high on him. I think he's honestly a dark horse of light heavyweight. He has good grappling, good submission ability. That's the best aspect of his game. But on the feet, when it comes to Pereira, he doesn't really have anything for Alex. I think Alex would eventually counter him and put him away. He's very open and he rushes a lot of things. And my big thing with Nikita is he makes a lot of IQ mistakes. His IQ isn't the best. He's able to, get these guys out of there or, go to decision and beat them. But he finds a way to win. He's one of those fighters, in my opinion. And I think if he's able to, force a crazy scramble with Alex and he's able to get Alex's back or even, get full mount, I think it's pretty much over. He would sub Alex 100%. But his wrestling is not that good. And I believe early Alex would be able to stuff Nikita's entries and find that mark early on the feet. I would put Nikita Krylov at decent chance tier because he does have the submission ability against Alex. The next contender up is former light heavyweight champion Jamahal Hill. So this will obviously be a rematch. I do think that Jamahal Hill would do better than the first fight. They had that weird circumstance where he kicked him in the nuts and he got knocked the fuck out. I think in the rematch, it would actually, move a little slower, be very, low output. I think they'll be trading leg kicks like the first fight. I see Jamahal trying to work his jab and at times putting, Alex on the back foot, trying to put more pressure on Alex the next time around, but I don't think it's going to work out for him. He makes a lot of minor mistakes. He has footwork mistakes. He falls over his feet. He doesn't really take angles. He moves in a straight line backwards. I think little things like that, is going to get him caught again when he shoots his left hook or his straights. He's usually very open in the center, and that's how Alex was able to, catch him the first time. So I think it would be the same thing over again, but it would probably end in maybe the third round. I would have to put Jamahal Hill at the low chance tier. I think Jamahal could beat a lot of these other light heavyweights, but when it comes to Pereira just a bad style for him. He's too rudimentary. He's too basic for Alex Pereira. The next contender up on the tier list is number 4 ranked Jan Błachowicz, and he's also a former light heavyweight champion as well. I think Jan is one of the most underrated strikers in MMA history. He's a great striker. He outstruck Izzy, although he did implement, takedowns and stuff. Even with Alex. In Salt Lake City, I think that kind of altered the fight. Jan gassed in a 3-rounder. He has faded in 5-rounders, but in 3-rounders, he's usually fine. Him fading just shows that the high altitude definitely affected him. He was able to be, honestly, the only fighter that can leg kick with Alex Pereira and check his kicks at times, too. Jan is a very technical striker, and he also has good IQ. He's very well-rounded. He was able to actually take Alex down a few times, but Alex was able to work his way back to the feet. The fight was very close. You could honestly argue that Jan won the fight, but I think his body language is the thing that kind of swayed the judges. I can't really see Alex KOing Jan Błachowicz unless, it's another circumstance like Salt Lake City, a 5-rounder, and he starts fading in the later rounds. But I think Jan is very disciplined, and he'll stay in his guard. I think it's going to be a tit-for-tat fight that goes to a 3-2 decision or maybe a 4-1, possibly, because, Jan is aging, and there's going to be a fight where, he just looks very old. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. But I think Jan and Alex will always be competitive on the feet. And if Jan is able to, mix in some single legs and double legs early in the rounds, I think he could make the fight very competitive. I would have to put Jan Błachowicz at the decent chance tier. The next contender up on the tier list is actually number 10 ranked Carlos Ulberg. Honestly, the reason why I put him here is because light heavyweight is very stagnant. I think if he gets 2 more good wins, he could be in line for the title shot. Khalil Rountree got a fucking title shot doing literally nothing. He failed a fucking test and then he gets a title shot. What? Makes 0 sense, but I think Ulberg could get to that title. Him and Alex would actually be a decent fight in my opinion. Ulberg's not going to mix in any wrestling or grappling, so it's going to take place on the feet. I think he can actually leg kick with Alex. I think he can work his jab. He's 6'4". He has a decent reach. So his dimensions are kind of identical to Alex. So I think he'll be able to work his jab, straight to the body. But mainly he's more of a boxing, kickboxing guy. So they're going to have a lot of 50-50 exchanges in the boxing realm. I think it's going to honestly be, who lands first. Because he does have power. And Alex's chin is not some titanium fucking unbreakable chin. Like, he can be chin. We've seen it before. I think he's going to be the first guy to find that mark and find the counter. But I do think Alex would be that guy, obviously. Alex is more sharp. He's more precise. Ulberg at times can be very open, and he has that CKB style where, they have their hands low. And, sometimes they exit the pocket with their hands low. And I could see Ulberg getting caught for that. I would put Carlos Ulberg at the low chance tier. But I wouldn't be surprised if, I woke up and saw that Ulberg KO'd Pereira. The next contender up on the tier list is number 5 ranked Aleksandar Rakić. So I've always been high on Aleksandar Rakić. He's always been my dark horse of the division. Alexander has good leg kicks. We've seen it against Smith. We've seen it against Yuri. But, at times he does, make some little minor IQ mistakes. With the Yuri fight, he destroyed Yuri's base and then he didn't shoot one takedown. We all know he has good wrestling. So I was confused on that, but that could get him knocked out against Alex. If he stays on the feet for too long, he's going to get knocked out. But I think that he would be very calculated, pop out his jab, work some leg kicks, trade leg kicks with Alex, and I eventually see him level changing. I actually believe that he could take Alex down in the open or off the cage, preferably with double legs. I'm telling you, if he gets Alex Pereira down, Rakić would dominate him, and I think he could sub him or, ground and pound him and control out the round and then rinse and repeat. If Rakić stays with a game plan and mixes up the wrestling, I think he would beat Alex Pereira. He has that ability. He is a good wrestler, but the thing is, would he do it and would he stay disciplined? I would have to put Aleksandar Rakić at the 50-50 chance tier, just off the simple fact that he can wrestle, he is strong, and he does have good control. And I think him putting that pace on Alex would wear him down. So I would have to put Aleksandar Rakić at the 50-50 chance tier. You just have to think about it. Styles make fights. We all know that's true, and this is a case of styles make fights. The next opponent up on the tier list is number 12 ranked Khamzat Chimaev. So Khamzat, he's a fucking weird fighter. Dude's always freaking injured. It's crazy. Fucking COVID, this and that, flu, this. I'm like, bro, when is he ever going to fight? But we know when he fights, he is a demon. He is the wolf, We've never seen Khamzat at 205, so it's a big unknown. At 185, 100% he would beat Alex Pereira. He would body lock him, dunk him on his head, and rear naked choke him easily. There's no doubt about that. But at 205, there is going to be a strength factor. Alex Pereira is significantly bigger than Khamzat, so that's one factor there. I do think that Khamzat will be able to work, good trips against Alex, but it's a big thing with that strength factor. And if Alex is able to stuff Khamzat's entries, Khamzat is literally fucked. There's nothing he can do. So just based off the weight disparity, I would have to put Khamzat at the decent chance tier. But without that weight disparity, the fight would be easy as shit. Like, it'd be one of Khamzat's easiest fights, honestly. And I wouldn't be surprised if, Khamzat gets the 185 title and Alex is still the champion. He moves up and steamrolls Alex. I would not be surprised. But Alex has, decent enough takedown defense, and I think he's strong. So that's like the big thing. Obviously, he can't compete with Khamzat's wrestling. There's no way, right? But just the weight disparity is the thing that's holding me back from putting Khamzat higher in the tier list at 205. The next contender up on the tier list is number 2 ranked Magomed Ankalaev. Everyone wants to see this fight. We've been waiting for it. We had to see Khalil Rountree get beat up. Nobody wanted to see that. But besides that point, Ankalaev is a good striker. He actually has decent countering. He's a southpaw, so it's going to be an open stance fight. He has decent wrestling. His wrestling is good, right? But the thing about Ankalaev, he's not a big submission guy. He has decent control and ground and pound. But, like I said, he's not a submission guy. So most likely he's going to ride out the round with control, let's say in half guard or side control, whichever, position he's in. And then, they're going to be in round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5. So you're giving, Alex Pereira 5 rounds to find the kill shot on you. So I think this fight is actually very close. On the feet, I don't see him being competitive. Like I said, he is a good striker, but he's very heavy on the front foot, and Jan Błachowicz exposed that. He was able to chop his calf up and hurt his leg bad, his lead leg. I think Alex would do the same thing. His leg kicks are very untelegraphed. You don't see them coming. I think he'll work his jab, work that infamous, jab to the body as well. He's just going to overall, overwhelm Ankalaev on the feet. But Ankalaev has the ability to level change, so it kind of changes the fight. I would have to put Magomed Ankalaev at the 50-50 chance tier, just off the simple fact that he can put that pace on Pereira and he can, control him, and that's gonna tire Pereira out. But the big thing for me is you're giving Pereira 5 rounds to find the kill shot on you. And there's been a lot of times where Ankalaev has showed questionable IQ, like the Paul Craig, he's just sitting in full guard, he gets triangled like an idiot, like simple things like that. So you can't fully trust Ankalaev to be disciplined in that fight. I would have to put him at 50-50, nothing better, nothing less. The next fighter up on the tier list is middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis. So DDP, he's very well rounded. We all know this. His striking is weird. he's very unorthodox. He has decent wrestling, good grappling, very strong. He's a physical fighter. But at 205, he's basically taking away those variables that he holds over a lot of 185ers. I do think he could take Alex down at 205. You're going to have to work very hard, though, because Alex isn't bad off the fence, and that's where Dricus du Plessis works most of his takedowns. So I actually think he's giving, Alex Pereira a better chance to stuff his entries. On the feet, all those goofy blitz, that overall style that works against these other guys, it's not going to work against Pereira. Pereira will shoot nasty straights down the middle. He can work that left hook, pivot off on angles, land the left hook, uppercuts, flying. He has so many weapons in his toolbox to intercept DDP's blitz. So if DDP, is doing that for a long period of time after Alex Pereira stuffed his entries, he's going to get knocked the fuck out. It's not going to work against Pereira. But if he puts that pace on Pereira, works him on the clinch, locks his hands together, secures a double leg, and he's able to implement a grueling style on Alex, I think he would beat him. But at 205, like I said, there will 100% be a strength factor. DDP is a big middleweight, so he might be, strong at 205. I would have to put DDP at the 50-50 chance here at 205. Just off the simple fact that maybe his pace could get to Alex Pereira. The next fighter on the tier list is heavyweight undisputed champion Jon Jones. The Hall of Fame, all the badges, wife beater. Honestly, this fight is very simple. There's nothing to even break down. If Jon Jones takes him down, it's completely over. He'd probably body lock, trip him out, or literally, double leg him, single, whatever variation of takedown he wants to work against Alex Pereira, he would be able to land it. It would be over. But if there's a crazy realm, a different universe where Alex Pereira, denies Jon Jones' entries and, keeps it on the feet, he would obviously knock Jon Jones out. Jon Jones uses that long guard. He extends his arms all the time, and, I think Alex Pereira would find the mark through the middle and put him away if they were on the feet, but they're not going to be on the feet. Jon Jones would dominate him. He 100% beats Alex Pereira. There's no question about it. So the last fighter on the tier list is heavyweight interim champion and soon to be undisputed because, Jon Jones is going to vacate his title after he beats Stipe. But anyways, Tom Aspinall. This is another fight that's pretty easy to break down. Tom's going to eventually level change, take him down, and I think he'd rear naked choke Alex Pereira or score a ground and pound TKO after he flattens Alex out, maybe having his back. We don't know how good Tom Aspinall's wrestling really is. His grappling is obviously very elite. He has good grappling. He was able to sub Volkov easy. He's been grappling since he was a kid. He is a good grappler. But like I said, his wrestling is still kind of an unknown factor. He's very athletic. He's very fast. Maybe there is a realm where Alex is able to, get some underhooks and, deny Tom Aspinall's entries. On the feet, he would KO Tom Aspinall as well. Tom usually exits the pocket in a straight line, and he has his chin very high, drops his hands completely. We know this. Sergey Pavlovich was able to actually land a left hook, I believe it was, on Tom Aspinall before Tom Aspinall was able to KO him. So I think on the feet, Alex Pereira would absolutely obliterate Tom Aspinall. I honestly think that Tom, in the boxing realm, would be very competitive with Alex. He has good boxing, and he's fast as well. He might even be faster than Pereira when it comes to straight punches. He's very quick. But I think overall, Alex would get the better of him on the feet and put him away. Those defensive mistakes he makes on the feet would be easy for Alex Pereira, to capitalize on. I would have to put Tom Aspinall at the beats Alex tier. But if you told me that, Alex knocked him out, I would not be surprised, honestly.
Do you think you would beat Ilya Abturo, top Toro? I grab him by the scruff of the chest and slap the little nose off him, yeah? Little ding-dong of a thing he is, yeah? I'm fucking Spanish. I'm in Marbella, bro, yeah? I'm in Marbella at the bare knuckle stall and let's see what's what. We'll bounce in the yoke, have a bare knuckle.